really a fan of the makeovers this episode. I didn't. Wow, it seemed really, really bland and dry. And Cody's makeover was a mess. That weave was so sick. It was thirsty. It was malnourished. You should never put a weave in with like just one bundle. You need multiple bundles. Y'all had her up there looking sickly. That weave was a nightmare. Y'all need to send her to some sister in Flatbush to fix that mess that y'all put on Cody. Because that weave looked a mess. She knew it was a mess. She probably freaked out when there were no black stylists. Y'all took her confidence because a woman's hair is her glory. You can't do that to us. Take, mess in our hair. And then, you take, for some of us, some women like the rocket ball. But anyway, it's our crown. Whether it's short or high or whatever. You can't mess in it and leave it a mess. If you were going to give her a weave, y'all should have gave her a nice, black stallion, curly, wet and wavy, something. But that, whoo, that looked like I had an American Girl doll, Addie, and I tried to process her hair. When I got done with that doll hair, Addie looked like I had just got her out of rehab. Just freshly out of rehab. And that is exactly how Cody's hair looked. I felt so bad for her. I felt so bad for her because I know how we are about, especially black women. I know how we are about our hair. And I could see her soul left her body. Her spark is gone. Take that mess out or fix it. Poor thing. Let's talk about India's hair for a second. That fairy hair is cute for like a viral Instagram post. But can we be real? What high fashion runway is she walking on? With that purple and pink hair. You guys are not realistic. Maybe I'm missing a theme. Is this theme commercial model? I don't know, because I feel like sometimes they're throwing out high fashion themes and then they do these commercial things to the models. And I'm like, you should have left India's hair alone. You should have either made her blonder or platinum. That's where y'all should have went. This fairy hair thing is a mess. She doesn't even look comfortable in it. It doesn't fit her. Oh, maybe you should have gave that to Kyle. I don't even want to talk about Kyle. Love Kyle. I'm glad that we have somebody on there who is changing up the gender norms and identifying differently. But I still feel like Kyle is a diversity hire. Love Kyle as a person. I just feel like if we wanted to mix it up with the gender norms, there have been other models on America's Next Top Model cycles who have done it flawlessly. So to have someone come in after I forget Raven-Symoné's ex-girlfriend, but when she was on, she slayed, and Kyle is not slaying. I feel like Kyle is skipping by because Kyle identifies differently, and so the judges are, oh, you're killing it, you're a boss, you're owning it. Nope, Kyle got to work on her angles, or she identified. So before we get to the judging scene, I want to deal with this nudity scene because I have a lot to say about the way this show is judged and them judges. So let's stop right here first and talk about this nude photo shoot. When I was younger and I watched America's Next Top Model, it always made me feel uncomfortable and uneasy. But I felt like maybe that was because I was young, you know what I mean? And I was watching something, and maybe my youth made me feel that this was icky or weird. Now, as a full-grown adult, I realized that my feelings were valid because this scene is so predatory, extremely predatory. You have young girls being pressured to take off their clothes, and they're crying about it. They feel very uncomfortable. Then you have an older woman, Ashley, and that was irresponsible, Ashley. I love you, sis, but what you did was irresponsible. Ashley comes in as like the older, more seasoned model, and ooh, look at my titties. I'm fine with it. You should be too. That just adds the extra pressure because you feel like somebody who I look up to or somebody who is killing it in the business has done it and is letting me know that it's okay to do it, then I should do it. I don't like that because if they have reservations, for whatever reason, they have reservations and they should not have been pressured into doing it. And I think moving forward, y'all need to get rid of this nude photo shoot because y'all had them young girls on that set with all the men, because let me tell you something, Hollywood is hella sexist, so I guarantee you there were no female cameramen. Oh, see, there you go. There were no female camera workers on that set. And so you have them in there exposing their vaginas and their breasts and the female bodies are beautiful. I have no problem with nudity. Listen, if I didn't have to wear clothes, I wouldn't. But I have to because if I walk into Target, which is my favorite place on earth, and IKEA, naked, I'm getting arrested. So I have no problem with the naked body. I do have a problem with older people who should be wise leaders influencing or, persuading younger, naive people to remove their clothing for ratings. Because let me tell you something, nudity does not a model make. There are so many models out there killing it now who have never done nudity, who don't feel comfortable with doing nudity, who still work. So throwing this nude photo shoot in there is not a necessity. It's ratings gold. You're doing it for ratings, and I don't like it because you're pimping these girls into exposing themselves for ratings. And then you're doing a little blur thing on the crotch. I guarantee you when they get older, trust when them girls get around to a good 28, they're going to be drinking one day and be like, oh my goodness, I exposed my coochie to the world. I didn't want to do that. But there might be a group like, I exposed my coochie when it was looking good. There are different types of people. I just felt like there were a lot of girls, especially India, who should not have done that because they felt a certain way. Now, Cherish is another person. They didn't even have to tell homegirl to get naked. She was spread eagle around them pearls before they even said, let's start the shoot. So somebody like that is fine with it. But India was not, and I did not like that scene. And I really hope that if you do keep it in, that you make it clear that they will not be eliminated if they choose not to do it. Because it's not right, especially with everything going on right now. And women, our bodies being taken advantage of and nothing is done in the justice system about our bodies being taken advantage of and abused. And it's just way too much going on. And I don't want to send this message out to younger women that this is okay, because it's not. And Tyra, as a female as a champion of women, you should do better. You really should do better. A lot of women look up to you, and this was inexcusable. Don't like it at all. Now on to the judges and the way they judge. First, let's start off with Rita Ora. Rita, whoever your management is, I would love to have them because I'm going to be very honest with you. As an American, because maybe you're known more in Europe, but as an American, I have literally no idea who you are. All I know is that you made Rob Kardashian go obese and that you every 2 or 3 weeks you drop a new line with Adidas. I don't know how you've been able to manage to do that. I'm not hating. I'm just saying teach me or put me in line with whoever your team is, because girl, like, a lot of people have no idea who you are and you are gracing the cover of Elle magazine. Like, what? Who is your team? Hook a sister up. Also, Rita, I don't feel that you are appropriate for America's Next Top Model. And I really wanted to say that nicer, but I couldn't find a different word. And I don't want it to come off saying, oh girl, you can't do this. I'm just saying, as somebody who has watched America's Next Top Model since the pilot, Tyra did this job so flawlessly. The bar is just raised. So when we're looking for a head host, we are looking for someone with a little bit more flair, personality, and a little bit more knowledge of modeling. Now, you've graced a lot of magazine covers. You've been in a lot of photo shoots. So you know how to model. You know what you're doing. However, America's Next Top Model, in my opinion, should be judged and hosted by a model definitely a supermodel, someone of that caliber, or any age, somebody seasoned, somebody not, somebody who has a name for themselves. I feel like your name is more it's not shady. I feel like your name is more gossip magazine-y and music, and that's not bad. You know what I mean? Any publicity is good publicity. If they're talking about you, they're talking about you. I just don't feel like you're able to step into Tyra's shoes easily. Like it's just, and maybe this is for, maybe they'll talk to you and you'll get better next season. I personally, as a fan of this show, feel like the host should be a supermodel. That's just my. What is it Linda Evangelista doing? Come on, Tyra, didn't you and Naomi make up? Let her do this. Like, it has to be headed up by somebody who has the experience. Because Tyra used to give these girls the best notes. Smizing, like, you're not saying anything catchy for us to make a meme about it. You're not having any breakdowns. I'm not saying that you should have a breakdown, but like Tyra would have these episodes because she was so passionate about this, because she was so seasoned in it, and she was giving helpful tips to somebody coming up in the game and giving them a leg up that she wished she would have received at that age. So she would get frustrated with how lackadaisical they were, or just with anything that they were doing that was improper. And I don't feel like you have that. Like the girls, you know, they come up and they say things, or you see how they're dressed, and you'll give a little note, and then if somebody says something like, oh, that was harsh. What? I don't know. I personally think that you are great at what you do. Your team is amazing, but I don't think that this show is a right fit for you. No shade. No shade. You know what I mean? I could never do Zoe Saldana's roles. I'm not the, hot ingenue. I'm more of a Viola Davis Monique. I know my lane. Those are the things that I'll play. Yes, I said Viola Davis, get into this tea. Get into this tea. I'm just starting. You just starting to find out who I am. But please believe, you won't have me somewhere crying. I've been saying it with you, Troy. Ashley Graham. I personally think she's perfect for the show. I do think that it's a misstep to have Ashley Graham on the show and not have a full-figured model. That was just weird. Like, you know how much a full-figure model could benefit from Ashley Graham? Like, the models themselves are already benefiting from Ashley Graham because she's a model and she knows what she's doing. But a full-figure model would benefit so much from gleaning from her, because she's someone who is able to do it and break barriers. I just don't know why you don't have a full-figure model on there. I think moving forward, you should always have a model on there who's androgynous, or somebody who's breaking up the gender norms, and you should always have a full-figure model. You need to have people on there who represent modeling as a whole, not just who you think would be high fashion. Because right now you are sending these girls on a commercial lane anyway, so I don't even know where we're going with this. I mean, you guys give them commercial notes, so you could definitely have a full-figure model on there, a model on this show. Anyhowser, I do think that Ashley Graham is a great addition. She's one person who I think really fits this show. I think she needs more camera time. I think she needs maybe have Ashley Graham switch for Rita Ora. Make her the host. She's a model. No shade, Rita. Rita should have been on the judging table. Now, I agree with that, at the judging table, but I don't think she should have been the host. Ashley Graham could have been the host. Yeah, I like Ashley Graham. Aside from that nude photo shoot pressuring. Good. Good pick. Make her the host next season. Drew Elliott is a judge that I think is great, but he will probably be great on a different show. I don't think he is allowed to live up to his potential, because we as the viewers are tuning in thinking that he's the Mr. J role because of his whole aesthetic, and I don't think that he gives the best notes. I feel like he attempts to be catty, but he's not, so it doesn't really work. I think that maybe he will work better on a different show. I don't think that this is his show. for him to like really shine to be who he is. I do believe that when we get to Drew and his like scenes, I personally feel like they are overproduced, and forced. I don't feel like this catty, effeminate gay man is who he is. Now, he might be an effeminate gay man, but I don't think he's as nasty as he's trying to portray, because I feel like every time he does say something nasty or catty, he apologizes for it. He doesn't physically say it, but we can see it in his body. Law Roach, I love Law Roach. I think Law Roach should stay because Law Roach is physically hilarious. This lace front wig, every time I see it, when he does the braids, when he straightens it out, I'm like, he even got his own fake edges. I love his whole aesthetic. I love it because it's meme-worthy, it's hilarious, and then he does his mannerisms. We are living in like a social media time now, so he's good for GIFs and memes. He's good TV. However, I think his judging is weak. Overall, the judging is extremely weak. They give the girls commercial notes, but try to make this show a high fashion show. What are we doing? Are we looking for American Eagle's next top model? Burlington Coat Factory next top model? Forever 21 next top model? Or are we looking for America's Next Top Model? What are we looking for? Because America's Next Top Model is a high fashion model. That's what the show has been sold for since the beginning. The notes that the judges are giving are so basic. And they say some of the dumbest things. Like, oh, I love the way she arched her back. She didn't. So what are you talking about? Are you talking about a picture that we didn't see? Maybe that's it. Maybe they're getting pictures and maybe they're editing in different pictures for the viewers, because the notes that the judges give on these pictures, I don't see it. I do not see it. And I am not alone, because if you check Twitter, we're all like, what are you talking about? That was a horrible picture. My opinion, keep Ashley, make her the host. Keep Law Roach, keep him as a judge on the panel as well. But he needs a bit more high fashion eye training, because a lot of the stuff that he likes is giving me like Puff Daddy video girl model from 1994. Like, his notes are just like, that is not high fashion at all. Anna Wintour would be disgusted. So a prime example of the poor judging that I believe that we, the viewers, have been receiving, and the models as well, this season of America's Next Top Model, is the fact that Corianne and Kyle are in the top. They had the best pics of that nude photo shoot. Really? Again, Kyle, I don't want to come at Kyle because I feel like Kyle is for a specific audience and they really need to see Kyle. I get it, but your girl is skating. Kyle is not killing it, and they are saying that she is killing it. Go back, Google Raven Simone's girlfriend, and go back to her season. She slayed. Every photo shoot, bam, killing it. Androgynous. Oh, I could be effeminate too. Work. She slayed. But this Kyle, I don't see it. And it's not that I feel like Kyle is a bad model. I feel like the judges make it worse because they are so extra with Kyle. Oh, you a boss. You killed it. You're phenomenal. Zendaya. Oh, you are so amazing. You won this. You are everything. Oh, Kyle kills it in every photo. No, Kyle don't. We looking at the pictures. We're looking at the pictures. We're seeing that Kyle is a mess. She don't know how to work that nose. Her angles are off. We see it. She not the worst, but the way y'all are bigging up Kyle, man, I'm telling you, it screams diversity hire. It does not scream that Kyle is the best or should be in that house. It screams, it's just, maybe it's your treatment, but it screams that we have her here because she's our special snowflake. And we want to make it easy for her to skate through. I'm not saying be hard on Kyle, but I'm saying be truthful, especially for Kyle, because if this is what Kyle wants to do, you got to give her the right notes. Or maybe y'all don't even know how to give these damn notes. Man. Corey Corianne. How is she one of the top picks? She was hiding herself in pearls. This was Corianne in the pearls. And y'all saying that's one of the best photos of the day. She killed it. And that weave, y'all messed up her natural curls. These judges gonna drive me to drink. Rita, this whole thing, what you trying to address India, because y'all know that what y'all did to that girl was wrong. So the producer's gonna go to Rita to try to get her to give her this little speech to make India feel better about exposing her body on national TV and to all the men and all the men, women, whoever them predators is in that room. So y'all tried to make her feel better about Rita saying, when I did my nude photo shoot, I made a decision. I'll give you this, but I won't give you this. Girl, what? What? You sound dumb telling that to that young girl. You should have just been like, listen, I'm sorry. You were visibly upset about it and you should not have done it. You know, I have set my own boundaries for things. This is what I did. So moving forward, when you don't want to do something, it's okay to say no. Like something like that. But just saying, I only felt comfortable giving them my nipples but not my vagina. Well, this little speech is a little bit too little too late, because she done showed them everything. Titties, anus, coochie. Coming in here with this late speech. Get out of here. She already did it. We already seen it. And this is the internet. That's gonna live forever. Paul Tang. I don't know why Chris Leanne is still there. Again, this is why I think the judging is off. Chris Leanne, in my opinion, should have went home a long time ago, because Chris Leanne is not high fashion. And Chris Leanne has made herself so, has worked on manipulating her body in such a way where that arch is permanent, where that stank walk is permanent. She has, and it happens to a lot of young girls, especially a lot of younger women today who are seeing these women get famous and wealthy from these ball players and rappers. They manipulate their bodies in a way to appeal to those type of men. So she has already done stuff to her back. That back ain't coming back. She's going to need like some high price chiropractor to fix that arch that she done put in that back. That's not going to work. This is the wrong market for her. Now, America's Next Top Instagram model, put her on. She gonna kill. But she should have been going, and Justine should still be there, haters. Justine, with a little bit more work, if she closed them legs long enough, she would have still been in that house. Y'all wrong for letting her go and keeping Chris Leanne. In defense of Chris Leanne, I will say this. I do not like how the judges, they don't necessarily say it, but the way they talk about her is upsetting, because you're throwing out Instagram as if it's classless. Like her notes are always coded, a coded way of telling her that she's classless or giving off hoe vibes. And it's never constructive criticism, in my opinion, because you're not telling her how to get away from that, but you're in a way giving her these notes and then not telling her the truth. You're coding your words, and she's getting back that you think that she's classless or, of a certain class level. And for a lot of people that hurts them, because it makes it makes them believe that you think that they're poor and not worthy. And it's such a dynamic that you got to get into with that. But I think the judges need to be a little bit more careful about how they judge Chris Leanne, because your critiques are coming off extremely judgmental, classist, and coded slut shaming. And I think we need to get away from that. The only critique that I agreed with was Courtney and Tasha as well, but Courtney, because I think Courtney is I think she's a beautiful model. I think she will really, really go far. I think her makeover was trash. Y'all should have not done that to her. You guys, Courtney could go in the way of Lindy Evangelista. Not with the height, but with the look. Like, she has a very distinctive look, and I feel like that Marilyn Monroe hair was such a 180 from how she should be marketed. Really? Oh my gosh. My mother's landline again. Anyway, I just feel like that hairstyle was just was counterproductive because it wasn't for me as a viewer. I don't think it fit her. I felt like she should probably have a more androgynous or like shortcut as well. I felt like that would have fit her face a little bit more. I think Courtney's a great model. I think she would win this, but I feel like her craziness is going to send her home. She's good for TV, but that craziness is, she'll probably make it to the top, but I don't think she'll win. Because Courtney, whew, ticky boom, not bad. We all got a little nut in us, but girl, you need to work on that. Work on it, or you're gonna get sent home. Here's another issue that I have. Paige, the notes that they gave Paige. Why didn't anyone tell Paige that she photographs old? Paige is a young girl. You see them photos? She's giving me a good 44. And it has absolutely nothing to do. It's not her fault. You guys aren't telling her how to pose. She keeps on doing this mouth thing, like a gaping mouth thing. And honey, it just looks like you're wrinkling. You have to, they're not, oh gosh. I'm not giving this girl notes. And I think that's the problem because as a viewer, again, as a season 1 viewer, I always felt like the notes they gave the girls were so helpful. And I don't feel like these judges are helping them. I feel like they're patting them on the hand and telling them nice things instead of giving them constructive criticism. Criticism is not mean if it's done right. You know, some people give criticism and it's just like they cut people down. That's not criticizing someone. That's insulting them. Tyra and Miss J, Mr. J, they used to give great notes. Even Janice Dickinson with her mean behind used to give great notes. I don't know what's going on with these judges, but to tell Paige that she had a good photo was a lie. Her body and her face were all over the place. That ain't high fashion. That's high fashion horror modeling. And then we get to Cherish. Poor thing. Poor thing. Now, I don't know what their issue is with Cherish. I feel like her first photo is still strong enough to keep her in the house. That is, they don't know what they're doing. That is a high fashion model. Cherish to me is a high fashion model. If you look at her look, nobody out there today looks like her. She is giving me Brave. You know, that Disney animation movie? That's what she's giving me. She has this beautiful red hair, these gorgeous freckles, and you all are coming at her about a waistline or about how her mouth is gaped. The reason why I have a problem with that because you didn't say anything to Paige. You let her slide on that. So I'm feeling like there's something going on in this judging where it's maybe a producer. Like, producers do have influence, but I feel like producers are just telling them who to cut and who to keep. Because the judges are giving terrible critiques. And terrible and not honest critiques. That's my problem. The critiques are not honest. They are letting these girls skate by, and they are not giving them constructive criticism. I personally did not think that Paige had a terrible photo. I felt like you guys could have given her some critiques about her face and the way she was using her jaw and things like that. But I feel like she had it. I feel like she is really, I feel like she's someone on her way. And to cut her so early, that hair, that look, that is America. She has an American look. So did Cody. But I don't know what you guys did to her. You threw that horrible weave on her and you took her soul. Cody is no longer in there now because you put this weave on her and you made her hella basic. She is not basic at all, but that's what the judges wanted to see. I don't know, but poor Cherish, she dyed her virgin hair. See, this is why you have to have your limits, what I will do and what I won't do, because she dyed her hair, went through all of that emotional trauma, and they still cut her. But I like how she went out like a boss, because she looked and she said, I think that's a great picture. My picture is excellent. I killed it. Yes, you did, Cherish. That's how you go out. She went out like a boss, and this is my problem with Rita Ora as the host. Cherish could have never went off on Tyra like that. No, sir, no, ma'am. Cherish pulled a full Tiffany cycle 4 when Tyra went off, I was rooting for you. She went off on Tiffany like that because Tiffany was so nonchalant by getting cut. And Cherish did the same. I'm telling you, go back and watch it. Cherish had the same mannerism. She did the same thing. Come on, girls, I'm out. And did she kiss her behind and all that stuff? Tyra would have never let another model do that. Not no young thing that she's giving a platform to, disrespect her like that. Rita gonna sit there and look. Child, I would have read Cherish like the book of Revelations, even though she was right for her feelings. But you don't disrespect me. And Rita sat there and let it happen. That's how I know you're not that's why I know you're not a supermodel. Because you don't know what you're doing. A supermodel would never let some young buck model disrespect her like that. Never! There's levels to this, Missy. Bow down, get in place. How dare you? I have walked Parisian runways, okay? I did New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, and I'll do Fashion Week right here on this stage. How dare you disrespect me? And I open up these doors for you, peasant. That's what a high fashion model would do. But no, Rita Ora just stood there while Cherish took her moment. Nah, B. Change this up. That's where the episode ends. I saw the preview for next week. It's going to be interesting. I feel like it'll be a lot better than this one. Hopefully, I won't have such a reaction where my videos will be so long because I feel like these are getting very long. But I really felt strongly about the judges and this nude photo shoot. But next week seems to be interesting, and I will be watching and reviewing. And I hope to see you then. Bye. See you next week. Oh, wait. What happened to the fadeaway photo? That was one of the best parts of the show. No fadeaway photo. Tyra, where are you? Get back on this show. I know you have a new man, and I know you have a new baby, and you're doing a lot of businesses, and you are really busy. But you got to make time for this. You started something. You have to finish it out. Make time for this show. Bring back the Jays. Even get RuPaul on there if you can, for as a guest judge every now and then, or cut RuPaul a nice check so that he'll stay throughout the whole season. The Jays, RuPaul, a season of fashion model, maybe Naomi Campbell, maybe Beverly Johnson. You need to get get another Nigel, a photographer. What is Annie Leibovitz doing? Would she want to do this? Man, this got to change. This got to change. See you next week. Night.